Hello and welcome along to this MMA conversation in association with Sky Sports. Very pleased to say we've got Bellator's Aaron Chalmers joining us now from his home in Newcastle. Aaron, how are you doing? How's everything been during lockdown?
Yes, I'm very well. I had a nice little addition come along 3.5 weeks ago, so that's been keeping us busy. And do you know what it is? I'm just trying to adapt to this life, because obviously it's not a normal situation to be in. But on the upper hand, I'm spending a lot of time with my newborn son. So yeah, it's got its pros and cons. I've got 2 big dogs, a stepdaughter, a new son. So it's all going on in this house. It's all going on.
Yeah, you go back to school, aren't you? The homeschooling. So that's an adventure of itself, isn't it?
And the homeschooling is, I feel like I'm teaching her, but half the time she's teaching me, because I'm telling her to do joined up right, and she's like, we've been told not to do joined up right. And so I was like, well, I haven't got a clue what you're doing then.
Yeah, even the syllables. Yeah, everything sounds...
Sometimes just for quickness, I'm even on the calculator just to help her out. So it's not the most exciting when I'm being the teacher, but I think that's why I tell you, I mean, my girlfriend, she does most of the homeschooling, but I do try and pitch in.
Well, yeah, and she's obviously had a baby as well, so it's very, very busy in your house. But you were able to get that fight in, weren't you? 7th fight just before, obviously, lockdown ensued, the event in Dublin. How do you reflect on that fight, the loss to Austin Clem now?
Do you know what it is? I'm always one that I'll not make excuses, and I got in there on the night, and I thought I could win, but like leading up, it just wasn't a great time. And I worked out my camp, like it was meant to be a 12-week camp, and it probably worked out 4 weeks.
Why was that?
Just a lot of stuff behind closed doors. 6 weeks before the fight, I was in bed for 2 weeks ill, like totally bedbound. So, but I'm one of these people, like people that bought tickets. I was like, nah, I'll be fine. And it was just seemed to be one thing after another, little injuries here and then. But I got in there, and I thought, as I got in there on fight night, I thought, as I can win. And he beat us fair and square. So what can I say? It was a bitter pill to swallow. I'm not going to lie, because it was my first time just outside the UK, and I wanted to get that off with a bang, but it didn't happen. It was a boring fight. It was really frustrating. And obviously, when the gyms open back up, sorry, there's a fly flying around. When the gyms open back up, we'll be going back to the drawing board, and we'll be putting that right. That's 100% certain. And I would like a rematch. With the 2 losses, because I just feel like I don't feel like they are anywhere near as good as this. The first fight I lost, I think he fell really lucky, falling on the ankle when I had just knocked him down for the heel hook. In the second one, I don't know how you can go 3 rounds, 15 minutes, and not have like a mark on us. Do you know what I mean? So it was just frustrating. From February last year to February this year, it was a very frustrating year. It wasn't a nice time for us. I took it really bad, but I've got a son, and that's come along. So hopefully it's going to give us a second wind, and there'll be no more half camps, no more 3-4 weeks training. It's going to be full 12-week camps, and I think I'll demolish both of them in a first round if I get a full camp in. So as long as Bellator want to give us them rematches, then fair enough. If they don't, then we'll just move on to the next ones. Like I say, I've got a son here that's going to give us a second wind, and I'm 33 in May, so probably got another three good years left. So I want to make them years count.
How's that changed you? Because I think those of us who have kids, you do get that kind of that clarity that comes sometimes, albeit with a lack of sleep, when you become a parent. How's that changed your psychology?
You know, it's quite cliche, like, I've got someone to fight for and stuff, but it's not even someone to fight for. I just look and think, like, I want to be someone that my son can look up to, and in years to come be like, oh, well, my dad was a fighter, he done this, and this, and I'll not be that person if I go in half-hearted and stuff. So everything from now has got to be 110% as a dad, as a boyfriend, as a fighter. So in the past, it hasn't been that. I've been quite, I wouldn't say lazy, but not some other things have just taken over that shouldn't have. So now it's just 110% with being a dad, being a partner, and being a fighter, and that's all that really matters at the moment, and being a family man. So I just, I can't wait for lockdown to be over, so have a tear up in the gym and just get back to what's normal.
Yeah, how long will it take? Because the element is there, isn't it, for combat sports? The sparring element, you can condition yourself, but you need that kind of timing and
I
range.
think it's going to have at least, like, I'm keeping on top of condition and stuff, but I think as long as I'm fit when the gym opens, I reckon you're going to need it. I reckon you could do it in 8 weeks. That would be pushing it. 12 would be ideal, but it just depends when this ban lifts, because let's be honest, the corona is very contagious, and the last thing you're going to want to be doing is in a gym rolling around with 15, 20, 30 people on the mat, where it's going to be quite high. And I've got a newborn baby, and the last thing I want to be doing is bringing something back to pass on to him, because as you well know, kids, it wouldn't go down too well. Do you know what I mean? Like, their immune system might not be able to fight it, so I don't want to risk anything for my family. So it's got to be right.
Yeah, I know in boxing that Dillian Whyte's gone to Portugal with people and is sparring. But the heavyweight boxer, who he's talked about MMA as well, maybe having a fight in MMA. But I think he's got camp with him, and he's gone to another country.
He would do well in MMA, because my strength and conditioning coach used to be his strength and conditioning coach. And before Dillian Whyte was a boxer, he was a very good kickboxer.
Yes.
So he's not just got hands, he's also got feet. So if he can get a takedown defense going, I think he would be very dangerous.
Well, how does that work? Because obviously you had a Muay Thai background, I believe. And when you look at it now and you reflect on your career to come, because MMA is, we sort of think of it as one sport, but it's so many different sports, isn't it, in one? Can you be a striker and succeed at the top?
Well, you know, yes, as long as you've got an amazing takedown defense. If you are a world-class striker and can't get taken down, then you're gonna dominate. Perfect example. I mean, Israel Adesanya. His takedown defense is unbelievable. He's also one of the best strikers in the world, as you've seen, because he had a hell of a kickboxing resume. So look at that. He doesn't get taken down, and he just pings people's heads off. So do you know what I mean? I mean, his ground game, don't get us wrong, his ground game will be amazing, but he just avoids takedowns at all costs.
Yeah.
And look what he does to his opponents. Within 2 years, he went from UFC debut to middleweight champion, and that's some going. So yeah, if Dillian Whyte can have a good takedown defense, I wouldn't like to be in there with him, put it that way.
What do you think now? Because it's hard to make plans, isn't it, with the uncertainty? I know you, I believe, wanted 4 fights this year. Have you changed that number, or are you just waiting to see what happens when any fights can happen in Bellator?
After the last year I've had and the 2 losses, I need to have proper camps. I can't just be rushing in. Like, just say lockdown ends in July and they're like, right, we need to get a fight in August. I don't want to rush in and get another defeat, because then my record's starting to balance out. You know what I mean? I want a hell of a lot more wins than losses, and the only way by doing that is by having proper camps. So it's going to be a weird one. I think 4 is definitely out of the picture. 3 could be possible. Say maybe September, December, October, December. That would be nice, but health and safety is first. Like I've got a baby here, so even if it's December, then that's just what it's going to have to be.
I was going to ask you about being a reality TV star as well. You're on a show in the UK called Geordie Shore, and it's interesting because I've done some work in boxing. And I know Charlie Sims, who's Tony Sims' son, is a boxing manager, and he was in Towie. The only way is Essex. And is there, with these fight games, is there a kind of a learning curve you get from reality TV? I don't know about the publicity, about the profile, about having that public persona.
Do you know what it is? It's a hell of a lot. Like, I remember, like, my first press conference, the lad I fought was on Bama. The lad I fought, obviously, he was just like a fighter from a normal gym. Obviously, I had come from the reality TV background, so when it come to all the cameras and stuff, he just looked like a fish out of water. Whereas it just come natural to me. So I think that's a little bit of upper hand I've got, like, because I've been on TV and like doing conferences and for MTV. I've been all over the world with MTV. That's one of the things where I can excel when it comes to a press conference. I don't feel any pressure there. Whereas when I first started reality TV and all the cameras were put in my face, I just was like, what the hell is this? Yeah. It was just so much of the unknown, so many cameras around you, which is like a press conference. But now it's just the normal, because I've got cameras in. We're filming a thing called Geordie OGs now, which follows my normal life, like me life with my family, like my girlfriend and stuff. So there's cameras in my house for 8 weeks at a time when we film that. So yeah, it's just normal when you see a camera. It's just like it's not like you have to put on an act. It's just normal.
Yeah, if you're not used to the lights and cameras, though, you talk about fighters saying that it can be draining, can't it? They can have that stress response. Too much adrenaline, it can kind of drain them.
Do you know this? Because it's like cameras in the press want what they want, so they want to ask their questions. Like no matter what they want to ask all the questions that they've written down. So some fighters are amazing fighters, but they just can't speak. Whereas nowadays, I don't care what anyone says. Nowadays, you've got to have a bit of both. You've got to be able to talk to the camera, like be quite over exaggerating at the press conference, and you've also got to be able to fight. Like it's not just you can be the best fighter in the world, but if you're not speaking, then you're not going to get them fights, and that's just reality. So yeah, you've got to be the full package now as a fighter. I'm still learning the fight.
Natural. Is it tiring if it's not natural? You know, you hear sort of fighters in boxing and MMA when they try and pretend to be someone they're not, maybe, and it takes away from them.
I feel like you can see it a mile away though when someone's putting it on. So if someone's walking around a fight week, doesn't say a word, but then the cameras come on and they start forcing all this out. It's like, well, that's not real. But then this is how fighters try and get themselves noticed. That they're quite quiet, but they know when the cameras come on, they have to be this sort of person. So each to their own. I just keep myself to myself, but I always seem to be the one that gets fired 100 questions on the press conference.
Now, you are from Newcastle. You got the Geordie accent. You're on Geordie Shore. I wondered, are you a football fan at all? You got any connections with Newcastle United?
Oh, I'm keeping tabs on the Newcastle news. Don't worry about that. I had a season ticket when I was younger. I had a season ticket for 5 seasons. So yeah, I'm a big Newcastle fan. Big Newcastle. Funny enough, look.
Hey,
I'm a big Newcastle fan. But yeah, I'm hoping the takeover is going to be happening.
And would you look to? Would that be a dream to? I don't know, ever fight in St James's Park or something like that? Would that be unreal?
I would. Do you know what it is? I was speaking to my agent as well. Like we're also going to be looking at boxing routes as well. In the next year or so. So boxing, obviously, boxing or MMA would be an amazing event to have. I've sold out my arena twice in my hometown when I fought there. So that would be the next stage. That would be the dream. Sell out St James's Park for a boxing show or an MMA show, and that's me. I'll hang up my boots. I'll hang up my MMA gloves, and that's me done.
Well, good man. We've probably got homeschooling to do and to feed the baby or help your wife, help your girlfriend with that. So
I can't hear any crying. I can't hear any crying or anything, but I'll go downstairs and see what's going on.
Hey, we appreciate speaking to you, and the best of luck
with very much.
Conditioning, with being a dad, and hopefully when those fights resume later on in the summer.
Thank you very much. You take care.
Thank you, Aaron. Guys, thank you for watching Bellator interview for Sky Sports, and check out all the Bellator programs on Sky Sports as well.